Rishi Sunak is flagging in the polls. It does look as though momentum is building behind Liz Truss. What are we going to see from Rishi to pull this around in the next 11 hustings? We've still got a long way to go, haven't we?
Yeah. So look, Ellie, it's about every individual member's vote and trying to persuade them, trying to make sure they see both candidates and they see that choice. And I find the more and more people who get to hear from Rishi Sunak, the more persuaded they are. And there's a lot of ground to cover. There's all the hustings events that you mentioned. There's also lots of events out and about in the country. Rishi is going to be putting in a lot of miles over these days and weeks to come. But also, of course, it's right to talk about policy. He's got a policy announcement today about further work to clamp down on crime and particularly foreign national offenders. As you know, he's been talking a lot about the economy. He's been talking about education. He's been talking about making sure that we're backing health and social care. And all of these things are going to be really important parts of this debate.
I mean, it's the problem he's going to face throughout all of this is the accusation that whatever he comes up with in policy ideas, but when it comes to anything financial, at least, people are just going to say, well, why didn't you do this previously? You've been Chancellor for a couple of years. Why haven't you done this previously?
He did. So what's actually really helpful is being able to demonstrate that in the coronavirus. We as a country, with Rishi Sunak as Chancellor, delivered what the IMF had described as one of the best, most timely packages in the world. And it stopped unemployment growing. Unemployment was projected to grow to something like 10 or 11%. I mean, that's a huge rate of unemployment. And it never happened because of the measures that he put in place and so quickly with furlough, with the business support schemes and so on. Unemployment didn't peak at 11%. It peaked at 5 point something. And now it's down below 4. We have many, many problems right now with inflation and the cost of living. But actually on jobs, the story has been a good one. And it's also true that in this current cost of living crisis, he did come forward as Chancellor to put in place a package, including the £1,200 for the most vulnerable households. So actually, I think he has been absolutely consistent, not over-promising and under-delivering. He's been absolutely consistent and then does what he says.